WWBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell. We are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon here with you, rejuvenated, alongside Lucas DeSangro, reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh, hell yeah. There we go. Wow.
See, okay, that's what I get for going old school music, Peaches and Herb from 1970.
I know the song. I just didn't feel like singing it.
I can't say as I blame you. I don't know if nobody wants to hear me sing. That's usually not a good idea.
You know.
And there are a few people questioning a few ideas, mostly, well, from this past weekend, and we'll get right into it. SummerSlam.
I like
the event that it was.
I liked it a lot.
Jon Stewart, I guess we'll start with him since he started the show, pulling a celebrity swerve that, I don't know, did anybody else see that coming?
Not really, but it added a fun little twist to it. See, the problem with wrestling fans, and I know, I feel like I do this every single week, when we decide to have a little bit of fun, or at least WWE decides, oh, wouldn't this be fun? Jon Stewart is actually a very good celebrity guest. A lot better than the past guests we've had, or Kathy and Hoda, you know. But,
I love how that's the measuring stick now.
It was pretty bad. It was really bad. It was horrendous.
That is the bar that is set as low as possible? Is that...
It was... But... You know, they decide to have a little fun swerve with Jon Stewart, and then people go crazy, and every wrestling fan starts turning it into the comic book guy, just like worst SummerSlam ever. Just extremely frustrating. It was a good SummerSlam. I liked it.
It was entertaining. And it was good from our picks perspective, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 7 of the 9 right. You got 6 of the 9 right. And through SummerSlam, as far as our overall year totals, it's all tied up. 38 and 26 apiece. I'm sorry, am I interrupting something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's on now.
Wow, giving me the look already, and we're 4 minutes into the show. Oh, it's going to be like that, is it, apparently? Oh, man. Son of a...
Oh, boy, it's going to be one of those shows. I can feel it.
Yeah, thank you, Joey. It is going to be one of those shows.
No, yeah, you betcha.
All right, so what did you think, the speaking of celebrities, the Stephen Amell and Neville against Stardust and King Barrett match?
Quite impressive, Mr. Amell. That was quite, you know, I knew he was probably an athletic guy, but springboarding into the ring, and he was very impressive, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it gives me something to aspire to be.
Yeah,
something like that. Oh, so yeah, Seth Rollins now the United States champion and WWE World Heavyweight champion, thanks to Jon Stewart's interference.
And a litany of the New York fans were bowing down and chanting, Thank you, Stewart.
That was certainly entertaining. And
you know
then,
what I noticed? I just want to bring something up. Undertaker and John Cena have the worst SummerSlam records.
Huh.
They really do. It's not good. They're not. John Cena with... When's the last time you remember John Cena winning a SummerSlam match? Think about that.
I don't know. Was he? I'm trying to remember. Was he part of the 7-on-7 against the Nexus?
Yeah, I think that might have been it.
That's what immediately jumps to mind, but I don't know. The facts are rattling around in my head, and there's not as much space in there as there used to be. So,
True.
It's like shaking an aerosol can.
Here's the thing. 2010 is the last time Cena won. 2011, who did he face? I believe he faced CM Punk for the WWE title. Lost. Next year, faced CM Punk.
That was very smug on your part as you said that.
Next year, he faced CM Punk and The Big Show. Lost. Year after that, Daniel Bryan. Lost. Year after that, Brock Lesnar. Suplex City. Lost. And this year, lost.
So he's on a 5 SummerSlam losing streak.
Also, the fact that 2008, it was John Cena versus Batista. Lost. 2009, I forget who he faced in 2009, but I'm pretty sure he lost.
It would certainly help your theory.
It certainly would. I'm just saying that John Cena as a SummerSlam record it's not pretty.
Now I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up as we speak because I can't seem to remember things.
I'm the intern. Let me do it.
You would be correct. He faced that Randy Orton for the WWE Championship and lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like 1-7 in his last 8 SummerSlams.
Yeah, John Cena is 4-7 at SummerSlam.
So he started off good, and then it hasn't been great the last few years.
Yeah, John Cena is 4-7 at SummerSlam, and it. Oh crap! I just looked. Jeff Hardy is 0-5 at SummerSlam.
Oof. He's only been in 5 SummerSlams. That sounds very low considering he's been with WWE since the late 90s.
He also took a break from 2003 to 2006.
Oh, true. He did go over to TNA for a while.
CM Punk is 4-4 SummerSlam. Let's see. Chris Benoit's 2-3. He's got a
that record's not changing.
Dean Ambrose is 0-1 at SummerSlam.
You just have like the whole chart there.
No,
don't you?
I looked up Cena's thing. They haven't. Eddie Guerrero is 2-3 at SummerSlam.
Something about a 2-3 record.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. But speaking of dead men, The Undertaker. See, that's a terrible way to bring that back.
We were on damage. Anyway. He definitely hit the crash button at that point.
Yeah, I have to give both of those guys credit. They put on. I wasn't sure what to expect going into the match, and I was invested the whole way through, even despite the, I guess you could call it a comedy thing in the middle where Lesnar was laughing and Undertaker mocked his laughter.
Oh, that was great.
I still don't know how I feel about it. I change my mind constantly on it. Almost as often as the winds of change a blow.
It was I think it was a good match.
Yeah, and how about Lesnar's stone cold salute before passing out?
Oh yeah, that was I managed to find a picture of that, just that one act of defiance before passing out.
Something that you can aspire to. I didn't mean right now.
What do you mean, an act of defiance?
Yeah.
True. That's definitely something I would want Twitch and I to aspire to be. A rebel.
Some would say you're already there. Rounding out the rest of the card, Sheamus beating Randy Orton in match number 3,972 between the two of them. I don't know if that's factual or not. Probably not, but it feels like it. New Day. They're your new tag champs, which, based on the crowd reaction, in hindsight, was the right move.
Yeah.
What did I was gonna say? I haven't had the chance to catch up with Raw or anything. What did you think of the trombone?
Why?
Because it's funny. Instead of New York, New York, new day, new day.
Ah. Why?
You're going to ask why again. It's entertaining. And after getting the win playing taps on the trombone.
Why? I just don't understand. It made me hate them a lot more. I'm not saying I don't like
I thought it was
trombone.
hysterical, but I guess we have different senses of humor.
No, I thought it was hysterical too, but I still hate the New Day. And that means they're good at their job. Same with Rusev. If you completely despise a wrestler, that means they're doing their job. You're not supposed to like the heels. Which means also that also means that Seth Rollins isn't doing a good job of being a heel. Not saying that to knock him. You gotta remember what Jericho did when he was a heel? Instead of tights, he switched to trunks. When people were marking out for the light up jacket, he got rid of that. He switched to suits. He would completely adapt himself to make sure the crowd hated his guts, and it worked.
Pretty much every time, because he somewhere between his breaks, he ascended into that respect status where he's going to get cheered no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, Ric Flair has dealt with that. Shawn Michaels has dealt with that. I mean, there are people who are great at being at being hated, but so much so that they're respected.
There's you reach a certain point in your career where instead of being whether straight up face or straight up heel, you're a neutral, in between. Not in storyline, but viewed as the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Cena is definitely a neutral. Rollins, which early on he's ascended to the top as a neutral. Sheamus is, as long as he's been in the business, he's either loved or hated. You never see a mixed reaction from the crowd.
I'm sorry, you keep referring to neutrals, and all I can think of is Zap Brannigan from Futurama. Those neutrals. I know, nerdy reference.
No, whenever I think of Zap Brannigan,
Are we about to go on a Futurama tangent?
No, we're not. We're not going to have enough time. So no.
We're not going to have enough time. Okay.
I'm being thoughtful.
True. It would take up the rest of the show, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially me trying to explain it, and then you just going what, and then I have to re-explain it because I tend to talk excitedly and fast when I'm passionate about a subject. I'm surprised I don't sound like I don't slur my words as much here because I'm very passionate about wrestling. But I seem to get the point across very well.
Much more so than me, and I've been doing this gig for 6.5 years now.
Maybe it's just because I have a big mouth. Maybe it's because I like to talk. Maybe it's just because I love doing the show. You never know.
And you've learned the secret as to why I brought you on here.
Feel so accomplished.
Somebody who likes to talk. I'm like the opposite. I'm like Bret Hart. Yeah, the music hits and I'm just like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Yeah, I know. OSW reference.
The best part about that was at the Hall of Fame ceremony when the Bushwhackers called up Bret Hart and he just got up oh, please don't make me talk, please don't.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's what it is. He
straighten up his side oh God, okay.
Don't give me a microphone. Don't do it.
He just wanted him to walk up and shake his hand. It's not like they're going to make you do anything more. 3 guys got up before him.
You kind of saw what was going to happen. I don't know. But, wow, what about the appearances, the returns, I guess, from trying to make the Raw after SummerSlam a lot like the Raw after WrestleMania? I mean,
Raw after SummerSlam was pretty much SummerSlam, if you really think about it.
We saw the Dudleys come back.
Those damn dirty Dudleys.
We saw Sting come back, and now, I mean, that's your main event. Yet to be, I guess, announced officially if the title's on the line or not, but Seth Rollins against Sting for Night of Champions.
The best part about that was when, after that news broke, my friend texted me and he said, great, Seth Rollins is going to have to carry another main event. Okay. Cena, again, not here to criticize. I'm just pointing out, Cena looked like he was gassed before he even got into the ring. Like he was, the way he sold drop kicks, would he pretty much just walk into the ropes and then... He still put on a pretty good match, but it just looked like there were a couple of botchy spots.
Look at you providing the in-depth, behind-the-scenes analysis.
I'm just calling it like I see it. That's what I do. Oh yeah, that's not my line. My bad. Sorry. You could use that as a drop though. That's on the bright side.
Yeah, I'll have to note the time or something.
Yeah, note the time. But yeah. And how about the new Wyatt family member?
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get into that on the other side.
I looked at him and I shuddered. I almost peed myself. I was watching Raw. I was sitting down and I sat up and just like I thought he was gonna come.
Shuddering.
I thought he was gonna come through the TV and like strangle me. Like this guy was big. He was huge. Like I expected him to be a lot smaller when I saw the pictures, but I saw him in the ring and he's taller than Harper.
Yeah, he is not a small guy.
Big. Oh, I'm so scared.
I'll give you a little bit more of a dossier on him on the other side. We'll also talk about a backstage collapse at SummerSlam.
Yes.
As well as a throwback idea turned anew. We'll get into that. And WWE Studios acquiring film rights to a sports documentary. Yeah, we'll get into that as well. But first, got to tell you about our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. They continue to bring you the legends. In fact, just last night, TNA's Ethan Carter III was at George's interacting with the fans.
Always schedules them on the days that we're going to the factory. We have factory training.
Yeah, I know. It's like they're trying to ruin your fun or something.
Oh, come on.
But he brought the heavyweight belt with him as well. Plus, last week, Ron Simmons and JBL, they were in the shop. I got the chance to meet them. We were having fun on Saturday afternoon, Michael. Stay tuned to Pro Wrestling Weekly to find out what's next in store for George's in terms of appearances. In case you missed it, Sinomania has been indefinitely postponed, or as I've been calling it, Pope-sponed, due to the flight hotel and
Pope humor.
No, don't get Vince McMahon into this. Pope humor. Yeah, no, that's something completely different. Anyway, Sinomania has been indefinitely postponed due to the flight, hotel, and travel issues associated with the Pope, no, not D'Angelo Gennaro's visit to Philadelphia next month.
That would have been, instead of, I don't know. I am a religious person, but I would have loved to have seen dollar bills raining down from the sky.
Wow. But you can check out George's 3 locations for all your sports and wrestling memorabilia needs, including their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Fairless Hills, on the lower level of the Oxford Valley Mall next to the Sears Court, and in the Chamonix Mall in the AMC Theater Wing. For more information on upcoming signings, collectibles, and more, give George's a call, 215-943-2475, or go to georgescollectibles.com. Coming back, we got news and notes. We still have today in wrestling history down the road, birthdays, who knows what other surprises. Lucas DeSangro, Fearon Derry here with you. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
But what is fun is this show, the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial.
Sorry.
Wow, if you rolled your eyes any further into the back of your head, you'd be the Undertaker.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, too.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Or I just set up some of the easiest follow-up lines in the business of broadcasting, one or the other.
Yes.
A little bit of both? Or you're just going all the latter on that one?
Yes.
You jerk.
Yeah.
I'm not even
going to dispute. You're absolutely 100% correct. I am a jerk.
Note the time on that one, too.
That is not fair.
Oh, it is absolutely fair.
You're right.
It's like Jim Norton. You bet I'm a piece of garbage.
Very true.
That's another drop for you, right?
Yeah, you're just churning them out.
Just drop
somewhere Jim Foxwell is beaming. Our morning DJ here on WBCB.
The drop stealer.
I know.
I'm just joking.
He is notorious for utilizing drops, and you have become famously infamous with your drops here in the mornings at WBCB. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no. All the time he's telling me of various stories that pop up, and he has one of your drops as the perfect follow-up drop to a news story. So, yeah, feel proud.
We should do the I'm a celebrity. That's like, No, updated. I'm a celebrity now. That's right. I said it. I'm a celebrity. There.
You just want your voice to not sound like you're 15 anymore from that I'm a celebrity now drop. Okay, I didn't say Rocky Squirrel either.
Now, here's something you'll really enjoy.
Okay, I guess close enough. I think it was something more like, now here's something we hope you'll really like. Oh. But I don't know. I'm no June Foray. But nobody is, because, I mean, she's awesome.
At least
I think is she still, I want to say she's still doing voice acting, and she's in her, 90s.
I have no clue. I made an attempt. I feel like that's all that matters in my case.
Good point.
Let's get back to the wrestling.
Yeah, I guess. She's still active at 97.
Wow. Jack Kirby's 98, and I think he's still doing comics for the X-Men.
Huh. I did not know that. Actually, I was going to say, is there anything recently that she's said? I know. I'm going completely on a tangent, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just used to it. I mean, she's been active for so bloody long. I mean, she'll be 98 in a few weeks.
Yeah. So let's get
news and notes. I'm just easily, I'm easily distracted. That's why I think I have you here, to get me back on track, because I derail often.
Yes, the network turns throwback idea anew.
That's right. WWE announcing that Brock Lesnar's return to Madison Square Garden on Saturday, October 3rd, will be a live special on the WWE Network. Kind of like what they used to do back in the day, where they would televise the Madison Square Garden shows and put them, this is back even when I was a youngster, like on Prism, for example. They would have the MSG shows, the Boston Garden shows, I believe, and I'm sure somebody will correct me, Spectrum shows, I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know they had the Spectrum shows for sure. Maybe they had the MSG and Boston Garden shows, but those were big deal events whenever they came to town, which was fairly often back then. Just because, I mean, cable television was still in its infancy. I mean, I mentioned Prism, and it's been long gone. Or something like that. But yeah, advertising for the MSG shows lists Seth Rollins against John Cena. Looks like a lot of SummerSlam rematches. Yeah. Randy Orton against Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler facing Rusev, and Kevin Owens versus Cesaro, along with an appearance by Chris Jericho.
Wouldn't it be cool to see Philadelphia get a live event streamed? That would be pretty cool. I wish we had still had the Spectrum though, because that would be more of an opportunity to have a throwback sort of thing.
Yeah, true. Madison Square Garden has the history, but I mean, the Boston Garden's long gone, the Spectrum's long gone, and I don't know, the TD Bank Center and the Wells Fargo Center just don't have the same ring to them.
No.
But I could go on a whole rant about the naming of arenas, and I still call Toronto's venue the Sky Dome, even though it's been the Rogers Center for as long as I can. I mean, probably the last
I didn't even know
decade.
That the Silver Dome was broken down, to be honest. I always thought that was
the Pontiac Silver Dome.
Yeah, but I saw they posted a video on the internet a while ago of people you look inside the Pontiac Silver Dome because they can't afford to tear it down. And it's
wow.
People ride motocross inside. It's a ghost town with moss hanging off of it and stuff like that.
Not Randy Moss, the longtime Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. No, that's a different kind of Moss.
Well, no, we're in Detroit, not Minnesota.
Oh, they were a division rival.
I did not know that.
I know little bits and pieces about football because, I mean, our co-owner, vice president, and general manager is the radio voice of the Eagles. So we kind of have to get those things involved there. Oh, that's not good. I thought I heard something kick up over here. I have a feeling that we might be getting an interruption from the emergency alert system because we got all kinds of beeping and something going in the back here. Oh, boy. All right. I have a hunch that we might be getting bumped out in a second here. This should be, something about the New Jersey Emergency Authority, something. All right, so it may transmit there and then transmit over the air here. So we may be taking an unintended break here in the action, thanks to the EAS system. Or it could just be something that's printing out. I don't know. We'll find out in a second.
Looks like both.
Well, we haven't been preempted yet or overtaken. I don't know. I know it's going in the background. It's just this weird kind of, all right, what's going to happen next feeling? I don't know. I'm confused.
Well,
okay, I guess maybe not. All right, we'll I guess figure that out during a time. Things change second by second around here. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, true. So
anything can happen in professional wrestling.
Very true.
Well, almost anything.
Yeah, true.
All right, so we talked about it before the break. The new Wyatt family member.
Yeah.
So who's that?
The new Wyatt family member who made his debut Monday night was Braun Strowman. I almost said Strowman. Like the.
Hungry? Is that it?
Braun Strowman.
Haven't had lunch yet?
Also known as Adam Scherr, is a 31-year-old former strongman competitor who has been with WWE developmental since May of 2013. Guy's huge. He is. Oof.
I was gonna say, careful there. You're starting to get a little Vince McMahon, Gary Stridham wowishness going on here.
I can see why Vince McMahon hired him. Like Braun Strowman. Wow, take a look at that.
And I'm sure, well, some people who are listening are like, what are you talking about, Gary? So just look up Vince McMahon and WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation. That was one of his failed ventures from like 91, 92. And just him gushing over the muscle mass because bodybuilding. It's hysterical. And it's like 90% hysterical and 10% creepy.
Yeah.
Or maybe 80-20. I don't know.
I'd say so myself. It's pretty creepy.
I don't know. I'm not the greatest with percentages. I'm surprised I got them to add up to 100. The Chamonix math.
Yeah. Not as good as Pennsbury math. Pennsbury math isn't any better, but it's better than Chamonix.
See what I started? Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
School pride. Oh, goodness.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
We've kicked your behinds in football the past couple of years. What are you going to do?
Will you stop?
Will you be serious?
Yeah. We've had enough seriousness over the course of the summer between losing Dusty, losing Piper. That's why we try to joke around and then just kind of talk about.
Speaking of jokes, let's go over the TNA Impact results then. Speaking of jokes.
Oh, that's wow. I mean, I know for a lot of people.
Stinker.
I know for a lot of people, there seemed a lot of eyes seem to be pointing to the month of September. Since I know we talked about it here on the show a few months ago. That was when Impact Wrestling was rumored to possibly be taken off of Destination America. Which, if that's the case, I mean that's going to be a lot of people out of work.
Yeah. But hey, Ring of Honor is going to have a lot more people to have. You think about it, a lot of people that end up leaving TNA usually go back to Ring of Honor, or in this case, or in WWE. I want to see, it's probably never going to happen, but Jim Ross pointed out AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Oh, how about that match?
That would be a very fun match.
That would be an amazing match.
I think that might be over Vince McMahon's dead body, though.
See, I don't think he has a problem with AJ Styles. I feel like there's a couple of TNA talents he wouldn't hire, though. I don't think AJ Styles is one of them, because AJ Styles was also, he's also Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, he
hired Samoa Joe. How many people thought that was going to happen?
Yeah, but look how much bigger Samoa Joe is compared to AJ Styles.
AJ Styles is pretty big, dude. He's not as big as, Samoa Joe's. Yeah, he's big, but AJ Styles is a pretty big dude as well. I'm pretty sure he's pretty tall. He's muscular. He's not
Vince's ideal, though.
Yeah, but neither was Seth Rollins, and they made him world champion.
I think a lot of that has more to do with Triple H than it does Vince McMahon.
But Vince McMahon still has the final word.
That probably explains a lot of the behind-the-scenes questions and answers that need to be questioned and questions that need to be answered and things of that sort. And that's as far as I'm going to leave that because I don't want to get in trouble. So I'll leave you to take care of the phone, and I'll talk about a collapsement. Fan footage surfacing from the end of SummerSlam of The Undertaker collapsing while heading backstage after his match with Brock Lesnar. Did you hear about that? The Undertaker's collapse?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Did you see the footage, though?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I saw it.
Thank you, Lucas Savage. Ooh, yeah. No further update was provided by WWE, but it's interesting to note that Taker also collapsed backstage following his WrestleMania 30 match with Brock Lesnar. So how about them apples?
Yeah, he certainly takes Taker to the limit every single time. Maybe putting him up against Lesnar a third time may not be the best move.
Well, I guess it depends on when they're looking to necessarily go there. I don't know. There are a lot of things I don't know. That's what kind of makes it all interesting, I suppose. Alrighty, we'll take care of our second time out. We'll get to the other side. We've still got Today in Wrestling History. We've got birthdays. We've got the film rights to a sports documentary story to talk about, and we'll get to Steve from Bristol right on the other side of this brief timeout. This is, what are we again?
Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Oh, yeah. And you're who?
Lucas DeSangro, the intern.
Who am I again? No. The amnesia's kicking in quickly. Too many blows to the head, I suppose. Alongside Lucas, I'm Fearon Derry. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, August 29. On this date in 1988, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage defeated Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant in a tag team match. On this date in 1992, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view from London, England. In the main event, the British Bulldog pinned Bret Hart to win the Intercontinental Championship. The pay-per-view would air on tape delay 2 days later in the United States. On this date in 1994, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, The Undertaker pinned the Imposter Undertaker, played by Brian Lee. This has been Today in Wrestling History, August 29.
You are listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry alongside Lucas DeSangro. Having a chat about the squared circle.
Yeah.
There's only so many ways I guess you can describe that. I don't know. But, you know what? I'll quit making a clown out of myself, and I'll have somebody else do it for me, like Steve from Bristol, who's been hanging on the line. Steve, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
How's it going, Brian?
Not too bad.
I haven't been around. I just got out of the hospital, so.
Oh, goodness. Everything okay? I mean...
Yeah. Is Roddy Piper dead?
Oh, gosh, you have been... yes, Roddy Piper passed away July 31st.
What was wrong with him?
Trying to think back to my they'd initially declared it a heart attack, but I think it was some sort of like a blood clot that led to a heart attack.
Okay. I just want to know what was going on. You heard a lot of rumors and you know what was going on. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Was that all you were inquiring about? Well, apparently it was, because we just...
I think he's still a little bit woozy.
That could entirely be possible. I don't know. It's yeah. I know they. I guess yeah. If you're dealing with some sort of a medical condition, then yeah, it's kind of hard to get all the info necessarily, to say the least. So yeah. It's still good to hear from Steve, and hopefully hopefully have a speedy recovery from the issues which put you down for a little bit there. Oh goodness. So Lucas, We got Tony from Hamilton Square on the line. I was just about to ask that, and you wrote it down for me and put it up in my face, so I didn't have to ask you. I could just read it aloud. Tony, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen. How you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
All right, thanks. Just a couple of celebrity comments about SummerSlam. I agree with Lucas about Jon Stewart. He is probably one of the better celebrity guests that WWE has had over the years, first of all.
Yeah, no, you certainly can't go wrong with a lot of... What he has that's different than a lot of the other celebrities that they bring in is a passion and knowledge of the product.
Like, a lot of people say, we're huge wrestling fans, but how many of them are like really true wrestling fans? Like Jon Stewart, you've seen him at the shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, he follows what's going on. That's, I guess, part of what allowed him to have that lengthy feud on The Daily Show with Seth Rollins. I mean, he knows what's going on. He follows it. He's watching it with his kids, I guess, after doing the Daily Show taping.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, even going back to SummerSlam, like the hijinks beforehand with The Daily Show and stuff, it seemed like he was on the ball and he knew what he was doing, and it seemed really authentic when he was cutting a promo, not like some past guest that it just really seemed forced.
Kathy and Hoda.
Of where he was at on the show. I mean, I wouldn't mind him doing a special swerve job in one of them, like, smaller matches, but as great as that title match was, I don't think, personally, just my little opinion, is that he should have been involved in that main event. To me, that kind of soured it just a little bit.
I can understand where people are coming from. Like, he really didn't have any business being out there, but, WWE made an attempt to try and make the show a bit more fun.
Yeah, and get that mainstream moment, because you knew that the next night Access Hollywood and Extra and all those other shows
like,
we're gonna air Jon Stewart using a chair on John Cena.
My friend who does not watch wrestling whatsoever, Shane, my friend Shane.
Yeah.
He called me and he said, "Well, it seems like Jon Stewart's enjoying retirement, isn't he?" I said, "Well, you watched SummerSlam, didn't he?" He's like, "Oh, no, I wouldn't go that far, but I did see the clip." I'm like, "Oh, what'd you think?" He's like, "He's going to get his butt whooped, isn't he?" I said, "Yes, he is."
And lo and behold, the next night he got an attitude adjustment from Cena for his troubles, which led to more mainstream coverage and footage and whatnot the following night, because, I mean, that's what WWE's trying to get out there.
Oh, yeah.
That mainstream pub. And you know what? At least they didn't have Jon Stewart wrestle.
Yeah, that would have been bad. That would have
been right up there with when Jay Leno went in the ring in WCW.
Or David Arquette.
I have to agree with that. The only problem I have is that just the placement of where he was, it was totally telegraphed. When as soon as he got in there, it seemed like he was lost. And right there, I didn't know that he was going to come in and do a run-in. I was surprised at that part. What happened was he spent too much time in the ring waiting to decide what to do.
Yeah, that was the thing.
It telegraphed it. You're absolutely right.
He didn't look like he should have. First of all, he looked at Cena too early. He really, like, when he was going to hit him with the chair, because, like, you need to sort of time it, like, you need to be staring down Rollins that entire time, looking at him like, "Oh, come on, Stewart, come on, no hard feelings, right?" And then turn around and hit Cena with it, and then that would be fine.
Yeah, the fact that he looked at Rollins, looked back at Cena, or looked over at Cena, looked back to Rollins, then looked back to Cena, looked to Rollins a third time, and then looked to Cena a third time, it telegraphed that he was going after Cena.
Pretty much.
Well, that just kind of made it the awkward moment, but that was just like a little nitpick. And just real quick, Stephen Amell, the match was good for what it was. For a guy that his first time in the ring, I think that he actually didn't do a bad job. He didn't hot dog it. He didn't act stupid. He kind of did what he had to do. He kind of did the basics, and even did, I guess it was a moonsault or whatever the heck that move was. So for me, it was good for what it needed to be, and I didn't have a problem with it. So that's my 2 cents on the celebrity stuff.
I gotta say, Stephen Amell, like, you're doing a show like Arrow where you're doing a lot of,
physical stunts.
A lot of physical stunts. Pretty much, if you're a wrestler, you're almost like, I wouldn't say a glorified stuntman, because that would just be...
Well, unless you're Mick Foley.
Well, that's not fair.
According to Ric Flair.
But like, you really are, or you really are...
Thank you, Tony. You at least got that. You really
are being a stuntman, though. Like, I mean, you're not being glorified in any sense of the word, but like, the way you fight in wrestling is pretty much the way you fight in movies for the most part. It's just there's a lot more technical mat wrestling and body slams. So for Stephen Amell, I'm thinking he does his own stunts. It really, I don't... maybe even he had a little bit of time to, like, we don't know how long we had this planned.
How long they had it planned, how much time he had to prepare.
They could have brought him down to the Performance Center. He could have, like, found a guy that was associated with WWE that could have showed him a few things. Like, I'm sure he could have picked it up fairly quickly.
It's entirely possible.
Too bad out there.
Yeah, you didn't.
So, but I just wanted to let you guys know my comments on that, and I thank you guys for your time, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, Tony. Thank you so much for the call. Greatly appreciate it. All righty. So WWE Studios, I don't know if you heard about this, acquiring the film rights to a sports documentary.
Yeah, it's very it's different.
It is. They've acquired the rights to adapt the documentary Long Shot, the Kevin Lau story, into a feature film. Now, the documentary focused on Lau, who played Division I college basketball despite being born missing half of one arm.
It certainly is an inspiring story, I would think.
Go ahead.
There was one thing I forgot to mention, though, like along that subject of like the whole story about John Cena granting his 500th wish. That
was another big thing over the course of the weekend.
Moments like that bring a smile to my face with WWE, because that's the stuff I want to be a part of. Second of all, it was like they had a kid put his application for Tough Enough that was battling cancer, and they brought him in the ring after rolling off the air, and they had him sign a contract with WWE. Like, I'm smiling, beaming right now just thinking about it, because that's just, it really is awesome when they do stuff like that.
No, it's very well done. You're absolutely right.
And it's not like they're doing it like because they have to do it. They're doing it because they want to do it.
And because it from a public relations standpoint certainly doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, but
not to be the wet blanket about it. I'm saying there's a practical purpose along with the goodwill that it provides. It's a win-win in that regard. Because I mean, they have to look at things from a business perspective as well.
Yeah. True.
So from a business perspective, the media relations of doing something like that makes them look fantastic. And from a fan perspective, seeing them reach out and do something like that makes them look good. So why wouldn't they do it?
That's a very good point. And
of course it is.
Don't get cheeky with me now. But yeah, this seems like, I don't know how they've done with documentaries about completely different sports, but, I might give it a shot, watching it. Give it a long shot.
WWE Studios President Michael Luisi saying in a press release, quote, Kevin's story is absolutely captivating and exemplifies true ambition, will, and dedication. It's a privilege for us to spotlight his inspiring achievements to audiences worldwide.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
And then maybe a couple of years down the road, they'll work on the long shot, the Fearon Derry story of actually getting in the ring and wrestling. No, that shot's even...
Okay, let's...
You're just going to squash that right away. Wow.
Yeah.
You are terrible.
Not really.
No, not really?
No.
Oh.
Why don't we go Rex?
Actually, you know what? I'm used to doing this in the second break, but again, this is what happens when sleep deprivation occurs. Let me take care of it now. Got to tell you about my favorite beer spot, the Broken Goblet Brewery. What the hell's the matter with me? 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol. Broken Goblet Brewing, breaking your perspective on how you experience craft beer, because broken can be beautiful. There's a lot on tap today. First of all, for the last time this month, it's frickin' hot out there. That's right. Today is the last Saturday that the Broken Goblet will be opening up a firkin of beer, and we'll sell it until it's gone. Today's firkin is a Double Eagle Malt House Cream Ale with raspberry balsamic green tea. That's a lot. I'm curious just based on the description. And pints are only just $3 until it kicks.
Wow.
Plus, this weekend, the Goblet is re-releasing the last of their 2014 Bubba's Teabag beer that they've been hoarding. Yes, once these 3 kegs are gone, it is gone for good, as the tea used to make this beer was discontinued. So you definitely want to get in there this weekend for that. Plus, whoever orders the pint that kicks one of the Bubba's kegs gets a free T-shirt. Not too shabby, right?
Yeah.
Open Thursdays through Sundays for the summer. It's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Check them out on the web at brokengoblet.com. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Wow. Really does, I don't know. It's
you
I'm
sound
tired.
about how I feel.
I'm tired. It's been a long week.
It's been a long summer for you.
Oh yeah, I've been running on empty for the past 2 weeks, and but I'm having a blast doing the wrestling and stuff. It's just I get these last couple of days to sort of rest up and let my body heal a little bit before school starts.
And then the grind gets arguably worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. It's my last year, it's senior year, so.
Wow, the senioritis is kicked in already, and you haven't even started the school year.
It's not even senioritis. I'm going to work hard in school. I'm just not going to care with the social aspect. Like, I'm just...
Oh, okay.
I don't really care what you think of me. I'm going to be a badass.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. I don't have to dump that.
Okay.
I probably should, but no.
No.
Well, if you don't, I was gonna say if you don't,
an awkward silence. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, if you don't care what people think of you, I mean, I think you're a.
Unless you're somebody I like, then.
Then it's a whole nother.
Way to jump the gun on that one, Fearon. Wow. Isn't it time for like birthdays or something like that?
I guess we can go there. I mean, you're anxious to jump into your favorite segment. I know.
Birthdays. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about as much energy as I'm getting out of you today. I know. All right. Yes, it's that time once again. On this date in 1941, Robin Douglas Leach was born.
Robin Leach. That sounds familiar.
The TV personality, host of the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and celebrity guest at WrestleMania 4, known as Robin Leach, and he does know why, turns 74 today. Remember he read the proclamation for the title tournament?
Yeah.
With champagne wishes and caviar dreams, I'm Robin Leach and I do know why. Now you get why I said that earlier, and he does know why. Yeah, it seems weird. I think if you go back and look at that on the WWE Network, or if you have the DVD or whatever, in the title tournament final, when he's carrying the pillow that the Winged Eagle title belt is on, as he's heading down those stairs, it almost looked like he had a few champagne wishes in the back before going out there. I'm just saying. I mean, he was moving to the left. He was weaving to the right. I mean, I know those stairs were difficult to navigate.
Too much to bloody drink.
Yes, I had quite a few champagne wishes and not enough caviar dreams in the back, if you know what I mean.
Oh, thank you. What, snap, snap, wink, wink, say no more.
Something like that. On this date in 1949, John Stanley Hansen II was born. The former WWF, WCW, New Japan, and All Japan wrestling star known as Stan Hansen turns 66 today. Yeah, he was a hoss.
Ooh, Stan Hansen.
And finally, on this date in 1973, Nicholas Svetkovich was born. I feel like I should be calling Denny Owen here for this one. No, the former TNA and WWE star, both known as Sin and Kizarny. Remember him?
Yes.
Vaguely, yeah.
He follows me on Twitter.
He does follow you on Twitter, that's right.
Which I think is hilarious and a bit out of the blue. I think it's awesome, too. I remember watching his first match, and then that was his last match also in WWE, and I'm just like, and he beat MVP when he was doing on a losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Kizarny.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, he still is a good guy, I would imagine. I mean, you would know better than I would. I mean, he follows you.
Yeah, I think it's because the freaks stick together, so. Yeah.
That's why you've hung with me the last 2 years.
Stop.
Will you be serious?
Anyway,
so yes, happy birthday
his
to
happy bizarrethday, Kizarny.
His happy bizarrethday, Kizarny. Sure, we'll go with that. Wow, we, where's your? It's I have it here somewhere, don't we? I think. Yeah, there we go.
We both suck today. I wouldn't say I've been on a 3-week hiatus, so I think the chemistry.
You're just shaking the rust off a little bit.
Yeah,
is that it?
Shaking the microphone rust off.
See, what's my excuse? I was here last week.
You're right. What is your excuse? The chemistry, I guess, is just it needs to we need to rekindle the chemistry.
Yeah, where's a Wellbutrin when I need it? Is that a bit? Yeah. And on that note, Ted Efaw's next. He's got the Kiwanis Circus. He's got country music coming your way from 1 until 6 o'clock. That's going to do it for us until next week. Play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock in all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB.